Let's see if I pull her. Valeria Marquez. Valeria Marquez. Valeria Marquez. Tráeme el espíritu de Valeria Marquez. Presente y futuro, visible y invisible, por lo que queremos saber. And we want to know, was Vivian Torres in on it, which is the friend? Was her boyfriend, Ricardo Ruiz Velasco, el doble R, have any of, what?
Was having an affair with a friend? That's what you guys
No, you're asking, was he in on it? Okay, was he in on it? And then it said, did Vivian, you gotta write the names, bro. Did Vivian de la Torre, it's de la Torre, did Vivian de la Torre, the friend and boyfriend have an affair, which would be Ricardo Ruiz el doble, man, this is so confusing the way you wrote this. It says, was it femicide?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're calling it, femicide. A serial killer who only goes after women.
No, this is attacks going after women that Mexico has been seeing a lot.
Yeah.
That pretty women are getting killed over because their exes don't want them to move on, and so they kill them over that, or just pretty people get killed for jealousy reasons.
Okay, so was it femicide? Was it jealousy? Was the employee in on it? Do we have the employee's name?
No, it won't give me any employee name.
And also, what's the reason? What was going on? How was she off camera? Had it gone to her head? Was he disgruntled? Let's see what the cards have to say. For what's hidden behind darkness, and the God and the saints are the answers to her questions. Here we go. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Readings will be closed. Erica is the employee. Thank you, Leslie. Damn, Erica's got some fucking. Erica's the employee. There you go. All right. First two coming out. Oh no, first two coming out in the reading. I don't know why I said that.
Reading.
Read. No, okay. Here we go. Ooh. Wow, that's big in the first two cards.
Wait, they can't see it here on live.
Well, why can't you see it?
Because the cups are in the way.
Okay, well then you got to do something.
That's
You're not high enough.
That's as high as I'm always.
Okay, well, I already pulled them over here. There. Let's see how that works. Now, usually you have it buried at the tip.
Yes, you can see
Okay, so I don't know which way it's going to go, but it's talking about death here, and it's talking about stress, and then in the crossing of that, the lover. Wow, this is really going to get interesting. And then it says, and it's going the right way. So it says that she's dead. It says that there was a lot of stress. She was stressed over it a lot. Right off the get-go, it says she's dead. She's gone. So that to me already tells me that we're onto something here because we pulled her. It says in the crossing of it was it the lover? It says it was more like a relationship with benefits. Benefits financially, benefits sexually, benefits all kinds of stuff. So it was one of those relationships. It wasn't just like boyfriend, girlfriend. And I think that's what kind of took off. It says in the past, there was no change with the way things were. Like things were still going the same. It says presently, it says, so it's saying there was no karma on her. So obviously she wasn't fucking around or cheating, but it says no karma on her. It says, I'm going to move this over. I'm moving this over. It talks about, which is really interesting, talks about leaving, like she's gone. Whoa, I almost threw all the cards out. Did you see that? Whoa, that was weird.
Oh,
One of the
TikTok people said that Erica was the employee with her and Vivian was texting her she wasn't in there.
She was texting her not to leave?
No, Vivian, the friend, was texting her not to leave, but she wasn't there at the store.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. Well, now we're clear. Okay, but it does talk about her leaving, and so when someone passes, you're here for a bit, and then you leave, you're gone. And so either to come back or, and I'm not going to give that away. Okay, so moving up the ladder, here we go. Talks about, she was very strong-minded, very strong-willed. She was tough to tame. So she had some attitude. There's some attitude here going on. It says, which is interesting, it says things are going to be very clear here really soon. So it's going to be cleared up. It says, and she just wanted to be free. She wanted to be free, do whatever she wanted. She liked the freedom of having, money and doing stuff. It says, and then in the future, it talks about 3 things that are going to happen. That's interesting. The three to the left, which are three to her, and you can't even see that card over there, so I gotta move them all down. It's annoying. Move the board down underneath it, please. I already got her. Maybe that'll help. Nope. Okay, anyways. So I have one more? No, that's it. Okay. And then the three to the left talk about her. It talks about family. It talks about relationship and justice. And then it talks about a woman who offers love or offered love. And then in the crossing of that, it talks about another one. So there's the two girls. It talks about justice for something and something like they were family. It's interesting. And you would think when you have a friend, a really good friend, that they're like family. Like you guys aren't really good friends, so you're not like family to me. So, but I'm joking. You guys didn't catch that. Anyways, moving on. Here we go.
Oh, they've been friends since they were little.
Well, there you go. So they're like family.
Childhood friends.
All right. Okay. Let's get into it. It's talking about stressed over death, and then she's gone. She's dead. And for that first card to come on, you guys saw me shuffle. There's no way I set this up. It comes out right at the get-go. So it's going to read her. I'm interested to see. It says there was triumph for her. Like she was doing good. It says, and she wanted to return to love. Like she wanted to be with someone and be in love, but she wanted to be free, not held on to. It says she wasn't discontent. I mean, she had everything going for her, but she wasn't happy either. Like there was some stuff going on. I think that's the stress that she was feeling about certain things. There was a lot of stress there. It says, and there it says, and that made her unhappy. The stress over it or worrying about it or being, and that's also something really to stress about. She said, and she just couldn't master it. She couldn't fix it. She couldn't change it. I think, that he probably kept coming at her. And she kept saying like, no, I don't want all that. I don't want this. Like, well, I don't want you being with anyone else or seeing anyone else. She said, I just want to be free. Because she was doing well with her TikTok and her stuff, which is interesting. It says, a relationship that was just beneficial, benefits, stuff given. It says, she was upside down in love already. It says, and she was kind of depressed over what was going on. It says, it's unfortunate for what has happened. She wanted to be that person who was like a knight in shining, or someone who could save the day, or she needed someone to save her, basically is what it's saying. It says, but yet there's no end. No end to what? Do we want to see that or we go on?
I want to see that.
It says there's no end. No end to what? It says there's still no end to, so her spirituality still exists, and which that happens when you pass. It says, but there's no sun. In other words, she's passed. It says a decision that was made. It says that left her, done, like upside down, like not even on her knees, just done. And it says that was the battle. That's what she was dealing with. Like he was gonna take her out. Like he was already telling her he was gonna take her out. And I think she was having problems with the friend because when let's just see. I don't want to even throw it out there. It says that there's no karma. So let's see what a good person she supposedly was. It says she needed to be more patient with certain things, and her temper was there. So there you go. These are things that can piss people off. Her temper. It says that's why things weren't working out. It says she wanted things to be complete the way she wanted things. It says, but that road wasn't there for her. In other words, she was trying to take that road where she was in control of herself, and she could do what she wanted. She became a little diva. That's basically what it's saying. She's becoming a little diva. It says that she's going to leave, like leaving stuff behind her, leaving. It says herself, her home, her temple, her stuff, upside down. It says, but her soul not destroyed. It says, at this point, there's no more love, no more opportunities for love. It says, and a man who's no longer angry. So he was angry, I'm sure, when he did it. Furious, but no longer. Like, now he's like, yeah, I got her. Like, that kind of, yeah.
It's reporting that he would get pissed off when she would go on live because people would send her gifts.
Oh, there you go.
And then he did not like that at all.
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't even
Whatsoever.
send her stuff to her salon.
The narrative at the time claimed that the influencer had been romantically involved with the feared cartel figure who allegedly flew into a jealous rage over her receiving gifts from fans.
Well, he's not angry anymore because he got what he wanted. It says in the end, it says for her, there's no more obstacles. Like, it's over. That's it. It's done. And of course, when you're dead, there's no more things you can do. And I mean unalive. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. It says that she was strong-willed, strong-minded. She wanted to be in control of everything, have her hand over everything. It says, and this turned her world upside down. It says there was good things coming for her. Like, she had a lot of good things coming for her. It says, but she hadn't found true love, and he wasn't obviously her true love. It says, and so for that, she was hung, like she was left hanging. He took her out. It says, brokenhearted, like she was brokenhearted, like she knew it was coming. She knew it was
She
coming.
mentioned it on the live.
Yeah,
"Que me van a matar?" She said it like that.
She knew it was coming, like she knew.
So she's also said that she had recently distanced herself from her lover after sharing concerning images with her audience showing bruises on her legs, text messages where they yet unidentified a man expressed jealousy over her ongoing parties and friends, and she would get threats about her family that they would get also.
There you go. Wow. Okay, so then it says, and it talked about the brokenhearted. Then it says, it's clear now. Things are going to be clear. It says, there was darkness in this relationship. It says, but the road was wide open. It says, for her to have found God, or to look for God. Like it's saying, the road was wide open for her to kind of change her ways as well. It says, but she's upside down, like she was upside down. There was a lot of things going on that you may not see on film. It says, and there's my card telling that story. In other words, money-wise, I don't know if she spent more than she was making, because, she had her business and she was probably making pretty good money on TikTok and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, I know because I'm married to Diva and I make a lot of money, and man, I don't even see it sometimes. I'm just like, damn. It says she wanted to be free. And this could be a huge problem. She wanted to be free of everything. It says, but she had no defense. There's no way she could defend herself. Like she was in a situation where she was going to be taken out. What did she say?
He goes, "What?
Me?" Wow. That where she couldn't defend herself. There was no way she was going to defend herself against this. And it's saying like there was no defense. She also, took it to another level. But she was young still, which would make sense. She's still young.
23.
She's 23 or 24?
23.
23. So she was still young. I mean, it makes sense.
Turned 23.
And that's why I waited till he was 27. I've been stalking her the whole time. All right, so it's saying that she kind of rolled the dice. She rolled the dice. She knew that she was going to get threatened. She never should have got involved in to begin with. And at the end of the day, she rolled the dice. It says, and that was her burden. That's what brought on the burden in her life. It says, and quickly, it says, it turns her upside down. She goes upside down, like she's done. Like, that's it. There's no more circle, no more nothing. It's done. It says, there are 3 things in the future. 3 things. And let's see what this is about. It says, one is that the past will come back to haunt the person who did this. It says, 2, there will be no more face-to-face. In other words, there's no chance for reconciliation, no chance for nothing, because she's not here. And 3, it says, and that person will face a tremendous hardship. It says, because he's going to be tempted by something, and that's going to get him. So I don't know if he's tempted to show his face or to come out, or he's tempted to go get all fucked up and use drugs, and maybe he gets taken out. Yeah, or someone takes him out. Yeah, I mean, it's showing the temptation gets him. It says, and guaranteed, there's triumph with that. Like, it's coming. He's not going to be free for long, or he's going to be at one point unalived. It's coming. Trust me when I'm saying this. Now, I don't know why I held the lover card over here, which is really weird. Yeah.
That's exactly what Miss Divino just asked. What about the friend? Was she involved?
She hasn't popped up yet. The friends are over here. The friend and the employer are right here. Okay. So I haven't got to them yet. Okay. But we're running out of cards. So it's kind of scary that we're running out of cards. It says, so I'm going to wait on the lover. I'm going to wait on the lover because we know who it is. Let's go to the 3 to the left. This is interesting. It says, like family. It says relationship with a girl. So the relationship with the girl was like family. Now, I don't know if that's the employer. That's got to be the friend because she knew she was young. Mm-hmm. So it's talking about the friend. This is what Ellie's asking. Let's find out. It says moving forward, there was a decision that needed to be made. Was it dark or was it light? It says, and that's why things were incomplete. In other words, she made a decision to move forward with something and to leave things incomplete, like her life incomplete. It says, it's true what's being said. It says, that's why she was delaying things. She was involved. Mm-hmm. Straight up involved.
She was the one, she even ordered her a Starbucks coffee so she could wait.
I'm telling you, she was straight up involved. And it says, that's part of the magic. That's part of what she needed to happen. That's what she was trying to do. Like, that's the alchemist thing that was happening. Fuck. All right. And everyone's like, damn.
Sarah?
So she was directly involved, like directly involved. And again, we don't know if that guy maybe threatened her or threatened her family. He could have done that. It could have done that. Or we don't know if she was like, fuck this bitch. You know what I mean? And she treats people like shit. And she did have a tremendous attitude, guys. What people might say about her outside, the cards are telling me she kind of became a little diva where she thought she was a shit. And that kind of changed the atmosphere. Here comes the employee, which is interesting. It says, was she making
She
it?
said she wanted to see her friend's reaction to the gift. The friend. And then not only that, like
she
went into a salon and she said, and then they were saying, oh, you have to wait because they're sending you things. And then she's just like, why? She's like, I feel like they're gonna come and kill me or they're gonna take me away.
She said it came
Well, 'cause
out
she-
Minutes before.
Because she knew her friend was betraying her. Come on, I told you guys, friends, family, you gotta watch out.
Yeah.
The only person I trust in this world is God.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, here we go. So here's the employee. This is what you guys want to know. It says, the employee's not a fool. It says, she also wanted a new beginning. It says, it's unhealthy. The energy was bad. Like, the energy around her was bad. So again, I have a feeling that, Valeria was a little bit of a tyrant and kind of a diva and kind of a bitch. Sorry, guys. But it says it was unhealthy. It's saying it's unhealthy and the energy was bad. It says, and balancing things out between money and getting money and not getting money was where she had to kind of put herself. It says, over a man. So it's talking about a man who had money. So again, if he was working with the girl, he's making money. He's probably a sicario. And they make big money. So, that was the king. Like, he's the one who called the shots. And I bet you when you get involved with someone like that, and again, I have a past from my family, but when you get involved with someone like that, at some point when you feel like you're invincible, you'll do anything.
They were saying that this guy is the right-hand man to a Mitch.
Oh, if he's the right hand man, then there you
They're
go.
not going to do shit.
Miss Divino said, I think they got into a fight with her too before all of this, right? So she was in on it. And then Leslie put, those girls mimicked Valeria. Vivian would wear similar clothes and blue contacts. She has brunette. She was a brunette, but dyed her hair blonde.
But did she mimic her because she wanted to, or she mimicked her because Valeria wanted her to? Because I know that when I do Ellie's videos, like Ellie does videos, I dress up to go to Disneyland for her videos because I want her to excel. And I like doing it now. I get a kick out of it, like making these characters look good. But that's the question that we don't know. It's saying that she was a bitch. Like, she was really kind of ruthless. If you watched Mean Girls, you saw how those friends treated each other. And I know it's a movie, but I've seen that in real life with friends. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Here comes the lover. And whoever this doble aire is, here comes the lover. Now he's going to come looking for me. Give a fuck. I got family to take care of that side. But either way, it says the lover. It says he did have feelings for her. He had feelings for her. He was in love with her, but he liked also boning her. I'm just being honest. Yeah, it says, and he was giving her opportunities, like lots of opportunities. Like, he would have given her anything, opportunities. It says, but there was no celebration. Like, she wouldn't give in. Like I said, she thought she was bigger than life. It says, so now there's no more problem. It's saying, like, now he's taking care of, there's no more problem. It says, and he returned to cut off her head, and he got her. And it's saying that he didn't want her going out partying. He didn't want her, like, the gifts are here, the opportunity. You're talking about the gifts, they're right there. Also, there could be gifts and opportunities. It says he just didn't want any problems. He wanted things to be the way he wanted them to be. And so, he took things in his hands. And then it says that she didn't want to be alone. Like, she didn't want to be alone. She wanted to be with someone. It says, but she was upside down. Spiritually, she was upside down. Like I said, you get lost. It says, and then money. It talks about money upside down. So I don't know if he was helping her. And that's a reason. It could be. And that's a reason to get pissed off. Like, you start giving someone all kinds of stuff, money, buying them stuff, doing stuff. And then they kind of say, like, well, I don't know. They treat you like shit, or they don't care about you. Like, it takes a lot to get what you got. Like, you know what I mean? To work and bust your ass and do that stuff. So I think that and him, it's a little bit different type of work. But at the end of the day, like, I think he did help her with a lot of things. And she was ungrateful. And fame and being noticed and all that stuff was going to her head. Because where does a girl come out of nowhere and open her own salon, do her own stuff? Someone had
She
that.
was
Yeah.
really pretty.
So Miss
She was. I didn't find her attractive.
Miss Marquez was a Mexican model who began to make a name for herself in 2021
Okay.
after winning the Miss Rostro beauty pageant.
There's
According to
another
Mexican
reason
media
for
reports.
her head to be this big.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with
I
all
never saw her
that,
body.
she started creating contact on social media. She would share makeup tips and personal care routines.
But guys, and I'm not talking shit about this. I'm not making fun of it. But you have to stay humble.
Yeah.
There has to be humility. And I've been through that, where like I've made a lot of money, and then suddenly I thought I was the gift of God, and at the end of the day I wasn't. No one is, and so I try to stay humble with everything I get and everything I do. But I do fight for myself. I think that she got to a point where she was fighting for herself, but she already thought that she was more than what she was, and she could have whatever she kind of wanted at that point, and he wasn't having it because I think he's the one who kind of helped her. Being a model in Mexico, it's very dangerous because if there's someone that likes you, you're fine. Look at the actors. Ellie knows who. Kate Castillo.
Oh yeah.
Look at El Chapo. He wanted her. He was in love with her, and now every role she plays, every freaking role she plays is a drug dealer because it just fit her. Like she's,
Well, they also kicked her out of Mexico for a while.
They did.
Yes, she was banned from Mexico.
I didn't know
Del
that.
Castillo,
I didn't know
for
that.
having that relationship.
All right. So does anybody have any questions about this reading? Because this was some shit. Yeah.
Do you think he was funding all those private jets, those vacations?
I-
Que estaba presumiendo, and then he was probably
yeah.
like, "You didn't make any of this on your own. Like, stop,
I'm sure of it. I'm
And
positive.
then he doesn't even get to go with her.
And he doesn't get the thing.
And that's what I think women don't get is that when you play that game and you're getting all these things and you don't show appreciation, respect, gratitude, any of those things, and you think you're bigger and you want to move on, that's at a point. There's a price to pay for that. There's a point where a man goes, "Oh, really?" And he'll bring things to an end, one way or another. Whether it's he's done or he strips everything from her or he takes her out. And I think women don't tend to realize that they're pushing the balance already. You know what I mean?
Because they think they're in control and you are not.
They're not.
They
They're
own
not.
you.
Yeah, at that point. And it's not just them, it's just in general. I mean, if you're going to do that to anyone, you need to understand that nobody just goes and kills himself for you so things can be okay.
Was there anything about pregnancy? It says apparently she had miscarriage or was soon to be pregnant.
I heard of that.
So
rumor.
the card that popped up that was upside down was the card that would be pregnancy. It's upside down though. And so she wasn't pregnant. I mean, she may have been pregnant before, but she wasn't pregnant at the moment.
And then Life with Does said he was probably mad because she didn't give him his title and let her mouth get the best of things. Was it one or two people?
What do you mean one or two people?
Was it like the boyfriend that did it, or was it the boyfriend and the best friend, Vivian?
I think they were all kind of in on it. I think all three of them kind of knew. And I think he set it up that way. I think when you're in a powerful situation like that, yeah, you can erase it. I think it's so easy to influence other people because you're fucking afraid. Because
for all we know, he threatened them
he,
too.
that's
You're not in,
another thing. Like
everybody does.
either you're going to help me with this,
Yeah.
or I'll take you and your family. And when you have that kind of power in Mexico, especially being into a cartel, you can pull the plug on anybody. They were pulling the plug on governors, on newspaper
Everybody.
writers, on actors, on fucking look at Chalino. I mean, all these people. Nobody is untouchable.
Nope.
Nobody, and I guarantee you that's why. And I'm going to say it out loud, and this is for entertainment purposes only. That's why the president backed out on going after the cartels. Because I'm sure they threatened her and all her family. And so she's like, okay, well, we're not doing that. I don't see her going after the cartels. What is she doing different?
Tappy Tap wants to know where's her spirit.
Her spirit is still lingering. That's why I said she hasn't left yet. She's still lingering. She's trying to figure out what the fuck happened and why it happened.
She didn't know. They got her in the back of the
No,
head.
she knew. No, he didn't get her in the
they
back
got
of
her
the
in
head.
the
He was in
front, the
front chest.
and the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shots
but in
in
the
the
back.
chest.
No,
I saw the video.
I saw it too.
When the blood comes down and the blood's... Yes. They
He got her
in the back.
here. That's why the blood comes down. He got her here. How's he going to turn her around?
But she wasn't bleeding here.
She grabbed here, and you could see where it turned red real quick, and that was
Because
it.
I saw the blood splash from her head.
I'm gonna take you with me to get some new glasses. Okay.
Wow.
Any other questions? Anything you guys want to
Put that
talk
in your
about before I go?
Des did say that she had a very nasty mouth on her. She would like cuss a lot on live. So
I don't know about what her. I never seen her in her lives. I never seen
saw
any of
her
it.
either.
But what the cards are telling me, it just wasn't on live. It was her attitude. It was her diva-ness. It was the fact that she took kind of advantage of this guy. And you don't fuck with people like that. If you're gonna get involved with someone like that, you better pretty much set yourself up to where he's gonna be there forever. Because if he's into you and he loves you, he's gonna hold on to you like like a bracelet or anything else.
Leslie.
What you say?
You gained a follower.
Oh, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you following me. I really do.
Looking forward to your next live.
Thank you. So I all I can say to you is this. This was, and I'm going to say it, a fucked up situation. To do that on live, for people to see that, it was like he wanted to humiliate her in front of the world. Mm-hmm. She had, 17,000 followers on her? 7,540 followers on her something?
No, she has way more than that.
No, on the live.
Oh.
On her live that day, she had like 7,540 people on. So they all saw that. Now the whole world's seen it. And it's like he said, I'm going to shut you up. I'm going to show you. I'm not afraid to do that right on your live. Like, that's how much huevos this fool has. Because he knows they already know who he is. And so to go up there, go right in and fucking blast her on live or, anything, knowing it's you, like, that's some shit. That means he don't give a fuck about anything or anyone. And so that should tell you guys a lot.